Hello, this is Mr. Chabry, and I've got another battle for you. So, this is from Gamer MZ. He wanted a rematch after the previous battle where I battled him. So, I'm bringing the same Pokemon, as he's bringing a very different team. And there's a few Pokemon on here that I'm very scared of. Mainly the Beedrill, because I know Beedrill has really insane speed and really insane attack. And it's got some coverage moves that can take a big chunk out of a lot of Pokemon on my team. So I'm going to lead with my Tapu Koko. I think Tapu Koko is the safest thing to lead here. I was expecting him to lead Galvantula actually, and I was going to taunt his Galvantula to keep him from setting up sticky webs. And he actually brings in Umbreon, and that's alright because I can still taunt his Umbreon, and his Umbreon is a toxic set. So he's actually going to bring out his Mamoswine now, as I'm just going to go for the U-turn. There's not really a reason for me to go for Thunderbolt, especially because I know this Mamoswine is here, and the Mamoswine is now out on the field, and I'm just going to bring in my Charizard. So here, I'm going to go ahead, Mega Evolve, get the Sunlight here, and do as much damage as I can. And this Charizard is really important to keep alive because he's got a few Pokemon that are weak to fire. So I'm actually going to go for Solar Beam instead because I know a lot of Mamoswines have Thick Fat. If I calced it, I'd probably know which would do more, Flamethrower or Solar Beam, but I just go for that just so I don't have to worry about the Thick Fat getting in the way of me taking out this Mamoswine. And I really don't want this Mamoswine to be able to do any damage to my Charizard because I kind of need this thing alive. So now he brings out his Umbreon again, and I'm just going to go into my Krookodile. If I need to, I could easily taunt this thing. I'd rather take a Toxic on Krookodile, as he just goes for the Snarl here, trying to get a special attack drop on my Charizard, and that's alright with me because Krookodile is not a special attacker at all. And I'm not too worried about that. But now he's going to bring out his Beedrill, and this is the thing that I am the most afraid of. I actually go for the taunt, expecting him to want to do some shenanigans with his Umbreon. But now that Beedrill is here, there's not really much I can do against this Beedrill. So I'm going to bring out my Dragonite. I know Dragonite can at least live one hit from this thing. And I could just go for extreme speed, get some chip damage if I need to. This Dragonite has multi-scale, and that's really what I'm planning to do. Bring in Dragonite, and if I need to, go for extreme speed. But he actually goes for the X-Scissor there, and it barely does anything. So I'm actually looking pretty confident that I could fire off something besides extreme speed. He's going to go ahead, U-turn, keep his Beedrill alive, as I'm just going to fire off my Draconium Z. So I'm going to shoot off a devastating Drake. I was actually aiming that towards the Beedrill because I know if I can get rid of Beedrill, I will be set in this battle. But getting as much damage on this Umbreon, that's pretty good too because Umbreon's a very, very defensive Pokemon. And even from this devastating Drake from a Dragonite, it still lives. And that just goes to show how bulky Umbreon is as a Pokemon. I'm just going to go for Outrage. He has nothing that really resists my Dragon moves, and he doesn't have any Fairy types. So I'm just going to lock myself into Outrage, do as much damage as I can to his team, poke holes in it, hopefully keep his Beedrill from coming in and setting anything up. He's going to bring in his Gengar, and his Gengar will be able to kill off my Dragonite. And I'm alright with that because Dragonite did its job. It took care of the Umbreon. I'm going to bring in my Krookodile now. Get the Intimidate on this Gengar. It's not going to matter. Gengars are special attackers anyway. As he shows me that he has the Phytium Z on this thing. So now, yeah, I'm pretty sure Krookodile's going down to this. This is something I actually did not expect because I don't see very often Gengars with the Phytium Z, but I mean, it gives it really good coverage options, especially against dark types, just like my Krookodile, who now goes down after taking that powerful move. I'm going to bring in my Tapu Koko because I know Tapu Koko can outspeed this Gengar, and I can easily revenge kill it. So I'll go ahead, revenge kill this Gengar. Just Thunderbolt. I know it doesn't have a sash. I know it doesn't have a scarf. So I just go for Thunderbolt that takes care of the Gengar. And unfortunately, we get Cursed Bodied. But that doesn't really matter because in comes his Beedrill. And I'm not sticking this Tapu Koko in here against this Beedrill. This Beedrill is too much of a threat. So I'm actually bringing in my Primarina, expecting him to kill it off with a Poison Jab as he just goes for the Drill Run. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent move against Tapu Koko, but it didn't really give the coverage that he probably would have wanted just in case I switched just like that. But he actually kills off the Primarina anyway the next turn. And now I'm going to bring in my Charizard. I'm hoping my Charizard can at least live one Poison Jab. That's really all of my Pokemon are relying on this Charizard taking a Poison Jab. If it goes down, the rest of my team is going to go down to this Beedrill. And luckily for me, this Charizard takes the Poison Jab. So now Charizard can fire back a Flamethrower. That will kill this Beedrill. Beedrill has horrible defenses. So down goes the Beedrill. And unfortunately, Charizard actually goes down to its own poison. So unfortunately, our Charizard is gone, but the good thing is we have taken out that big threat that was standing there ready to completely sweep our team. So now I can bring in my Tapu Koko. I'm just going to fire off a Thunderbolt as it's going to be a 2-hit KO. And he just fires off a Thunder, but he actually misses. I've actually calced it. The Thunder would not have killed the Tapu Koko, even in electric terrain. Even if this thing was Choice Specs, it would not have been enough to kill my Tapu Koko. But anyway, I'm going to switch into Superior because I can take advantage of this. And he goes for Thunder again, so unfortunately for him, he misses twice. But it's not really going to matter at this point. I just go for Hidden Power Fire. That finishes off the Galvantula. And I can easily finish off this Feraligatr with a Leaf Storm. So that will be the game. Those two Thunder misses did not really matter because Tapu Koko would have lived. And of course, Superior would have lived. And I would have been able to finish off the Feraligatr with either or of my last two Pokemon. So this battle actually went really well. That Beedrill almost gave me a headache, but luckily Charizard lived the Poison Jab and was able to fire off a Flamethrower. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next battle video.